This is the Daily Wrestling News for March 22, 2021, and we are powered by the Eastern Observer. It feels good to be back. My name is Ryan Joy, and I'm coming to you live from Minutes Till Bell Time Studios on the beautiful Treasure Coast of the Sunshine State. And I am joined today by the returning Karl from Pro Wrestling Pick'em. Welcome back to the Daily Wrestling News Show.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's been so long. I keep on saying you while he picked me. I had to miss 1 week, and then he just – nope, got to guess this week. Nope, got to guess this week. So like, oh my God! But those interviews were amazing, Ryan. I am happy to take a step back for CZW and all the other Florida indie promotions that you're doing. Great job helping them get their exposure. So no problems here.
It's it's mutual, right? Like they're helping me. They had a great set of shows over the weekend. They went Thursday, Friday, Saturday this past weekend. Coastal Championship Wrestling down here in Florida. Thursday, they had their Hardcore Cup. I didn't get to see that, but that'll be available on iPay-per-view, I think this week, they told me. And then on Friday, they did a show right around the corner from me here in Port St. Lucie in Florida. And then their big show Saturday night was down in Fort Lauderdale at Extreme Action Park. They had Sandman, Super Crazy, Headbangers, Brutus Beefcake, Bugs Moran, who was on this show a few weeks ago. Long hair.
Yeah,
it's all gone now. He lost his hair versus hair match. Oh. So Brutus went to town on him after the match. So
you know what? That's saying something though. It's almost like that time. I don't know if you remember this when Ambrose got DDT'd by Roberts maybe like 7-8 years ago, and Jake put the snake on Ambrose, and you can see Ambrose smiling. You know, like you can see like this is the greatest thing ever. Like I got Damien on me or whoever. So if I got my hair cut by the barb as a gimmick thing, I would totally take that. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Well, it was great too because they had that match, and then the next thing they had was a cage match, which was a great tag team cage match. Cha Cha Charlie, who was on this show, he was in that. But while they were putting up the cage, over in the corner was the haircut. So people were kind of, crowding around watching the haircut as the cage was going up. And Jake St. Patrick, his gimmick, Jake of all trades, he's in there. He's putting the cage together and stuff. So really fun night of fun couple of nights of action with Coastal Championship Wrestling. So the independent scene and regional scene is great down here. So great time.
Good.
Well, we have a heck of a lineup today. Because we have the ridiculously random non-wrestling audience needs to know you better question today. Al has been dying to answer these questions.
Yeah, you ask all the questions that are in my wheelhouse. You're asking everybody else, and then I'm gonna get like, well, what's your favorite color? I'm like, oh, come on. Like this.
We're gonna talk Faslane. We're gonna talk NWA Back for the Attack. We're gonna talk about tonight's lineup for AEW Dark Elevation and Raw. We have news. We have trivia. A lot to do. Let's get at it. Al, your ridiculously random non-wrestling audience needs to know you better question of the day is brought to you by Pro Wrestling Pick'em. Pro Wrestling Pick'em is a place where you can join or host a Pick'em league to test your predictive skills in the world of pro wrestling. Create an account and join a league now at ProWrestlingPick'em.com so you can play against your friends or play against the universe. And Al, it's the big point show coming up pretty soon here. So WrestleMania.
Yeah, WrestleMania, there's a ton of points. WrestleMania is I'm sorry, Ryan, I cut you off right there. WrestleMania is it's the last show of the season. It's the main event of the wrestling calendar. So screw it. It's 10 times the points. It's going to be 50 points for the main event, for the championship matches, 25 for the other title matches, and then 10 for non-title. There's just a lot of points on the line. Everybody's definitely still in it. The card, the standings, it's amazing how much they shift. So everybody's still in it. Even as like I said, with our pool, Tyler's kind of far back. He missed a bunch of shows because of work. Tyler's still in this. He could nail it perfect at WrestleMania, and whoever I'm in first, if I struggle, he could definitely catch it. So it's a lot of fun to keep everybody interested. And like I said, it's WrestleMania. You just get excited for it anyway, and it makes you just cheer that much harder. Especially in the matches that you don't care about. Like all of a sudden you're going to catch yourself like, oh my God, like I really need Baron Corbin to win this match. So it's really fun.
Yeah. So definitely get in there, join the league, rack up a bunch of points here so you can brag that you beat us who've been playing all year round by doing one show. Learn the platform and join next season. So, Al, your ridiculously random question is, what is the best movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
Now, I love the MCU. My stepson and myself, that's one of like the things that we do together. You know, we have that relationship with that. I was never a comic book kid. It really never interested me at all. And all of a sudden I watched Iron Man was at 10, 11 years ago. And I just got thrown. And all of a sudden I just see everything just molding together. And I was just floored by it. My favorite is the Infinity War, where Thanos, he gets all the stone. The heel wins. That's really, you don't really see that ever in movies. It was almost very Empire Strikes Back ish, where Vader got the last laugh on that one. This one, Infinity War, absolutely incredible when everybody got together. It really was a lot of fun. The MCU was great. WandaVision was great. We just started Falcon and Winter Soldier started Friday. We just watched that the first episode. We're excited for everything to come because this pause was a year and a half too. Like this was paused also. We're very, very behind in the MCU.
Is Kenny Omega the current day Thanos if he were to go and win those Impact titles?
There's been artist renderings of Kenny Omega with a gauntlet, and then there's an AEW logo. There's an Impact logo. Like he's ready to drop it in. The AAA logo's on it already.
Yep.
So yeah, that's it. He's trying to catch all the Infinity belts.
There you go. All right. Well, let's talk about let's not talk about Kenny Omega. We were Faslane last night. Our pre-show, we had Matt Riddle get the win over Mustafa Ali, 9 minutes, 17 seconds. So Riddle keeps the United States Championship.
Yep.
Looks like Retribution's all done.
Yes.
Ali starts yelling at them, and Mia Yim says, "See you later."
Yeah, Mia Yim walked away, and then Slapjack presented by Popeye's Chicken Sandwich. He walked away, and then the other two. Let's see. We have Calendar and Face Mask. They double choke slammed Mustafa. That's how you come up with the Retribution name. They just find all right, there's coffee pot right there. That's he's the Retribution guy. So it looks like I don't know if they're done, but they're done with Ali, which is fine. I would actually kind of maybe like to see the four of them stay together even without.
Well, you know what was interesting to me is like, okay, so Reckoning, Mia Yim, whatever her name is, she can go do her own thing. She's fine on her own.
Yep.
Slapjack's probably not going to get very far. But if they keep Mace and T-Bar, Dio Madden, and Dominic Dijakovic, they keep them together as a tag team under their Retribution names or whatever, that can be Retribution going forward. It's those two guys, the monster tag team. It didn't occur to me until they did that double choke slam that they could they're just right up Vince's alley. So that's kind of perfect for them.
Yeah, I would like I said, I would like Slapjack to stay with them too, just to be, you can have a 3-man group. Yeah, put Mia Yim back in the women's division, let her shine, get the mask off her, let her do her thing. But yeah, if the three of them stay together, keep the Retribution and keep everything going, which is without Mustafa Ali. Let that'll be the first feud, and then see what happens from there.
Yeah,
great match though. That was fun, Riddle and Ali. That was good. That's a great pairing.
Yes. Yeah, they're good together. Big E, he in the opening contest was Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler defeating Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair. Reggie was there. It was the tag team championships were on the line. They didn't change hands, but Sasha and Bianca were off to the races. Point to the sign. We're ready to go.
Yeah, I got that one wrong. I thought this was a cheap way to get them off Nia and Shayna because I said that on the Essential Wrestling Podcast Tuesday. Get them off those two so they can fight for a fatal 4-way at WrestleMania with Charlotte and Asuka. That'd be fun. But then get the belts off Sasha and Bianca maybe in 2 weeks. Maybe not this Friday, but the next Friday. Just so we don't have a champion versus champion. Like Natty and Tamina, I was completely sold on this. It was shocked last night because Natty and Tamina, they jumped everybody on Friday. So I figured that this would I'm going to be right on this. Like, this is going to be great, but they kept them on Nia and Shayna. So maybe I guess Natty and Tamina take them off that way. And there's no reason that Shayna and Nia can't go into if they do a fatal 4-way as champions. They can fight each other. It's not like they like each other. So I just figured it was it would be a different way to get a tag title match at Mania, but I don't know what they're going to do now. Yeah, so this would.
There's a lot of room on the WrestleMania card right now. We only have 4 matches, I think, right now.
Four,
so, yeah. So there's tons of room. I thought we'd get Nia versus Shayna by now. So who knows?
Yeah.
Big E got a win over Apollo Crews.
Yeah.
It's weird. It was a weird win. Happened really quick, and there was no instant replay of it. So I don't know if it was a intentional win or whatever happened there. But 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And Apollo Crews went to town on Big E afterwards. So that's not done.
Yeah, I just watched that now just to see. Actually, I missed it. I think I was washing dishes at that point. I tried to get it done quick so I didn't have to miss anything, and I ended up missing the end of the match. They rolled for a small package. Big E rolled back, and then they both kind of landed, and E bridged up to get his shoulders up. So it was the referee counted 2 on E. Then when he reversed it, she started over again, and then he bridged up after E. So it was a legit win. I think that was planned. Just because it was a confusing ending, exactly right. Then you can have Apollo jump him at the end, and this can go into WrestleMania. So,
well, yeah, exactly. So that's probably what's going to happen. Apollo Crews went to town on him. Olympic Slam. So that will continue. Elias got to perform a little bit before Shane McMahon interrupted him and said, "You're taking my place tonight." So Braun Strowman versus Elias, short match, a little less than 4 minutes. Elias is making his bid to get on WrestleMania. He wants to perform, but he lost to Braun Strowman here.
Yeah, Shane hurt his knee training. He landed wrong something. Yeah, he hurt his knee training. So Shane, he got out of it. That's good. You know, that ice pack, it was a pretty big ice pack, so it looked like a pretty significant injury. So that's.
I'm pretty sure he'll make a miraculous recovery and be dancing all over Raw tonight.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. He's gonna hit Braun with the crutch and then start dancing.
Seth Rollins got a win over Shinsuke Nakamura, 12 minutes 54 seconds. So
awesome match. I got genuinely excited when they announced that on SmackDown. I thought that was great. I think it was. I won't say it was a lock. I would say about like a 90%, 95%. Chance Rollins was going to win that. Not many people in the pool had Nakamura, but that was just. I'm just like I don't care. I don't care if this is an obvious outcome. Like let's see these two, give them the time on a pay-per-view to go, let them go, and they did. And I thought it was absolutely incredible. That was great.
Yeah, and they made a big deal about Seth Rollins knocking off an international superstar.
Yeah.
They built Shinsuke up for that, so to make it a big win for Seth. So.
Yeah, good for that. Get Nakamura going too. Hopefully Nakamura's got something going with a one-on-one at WrestleMania. If Cesaro's getting one, hopefully Nakamura can sneak one in. I know we had a conversation with Riddle. Riddle was pitching them ideas. That's in a promotional. I don't know if they're going to go that route, but
that was awesome. And
those are some great ideas.
Shinsuke hit on him. Drew McIntyre got the win over Sheamus in the no holds barred match. 19 minutes 40 seconds. This was the second longest match on the card. So we're off to the races for WrestleMania again here with this one. Drew McIntyre is going to get his match against Bobby Lashley. Lashley was not on this card, by the way, not at all. But
no, he's got the ticket straight to WrestleMania. He was waiting for this to end. Yeah, so this was, like I said, both title situations, both WrestleMania main events were kind of up in the air here. Only because there's a way you could add a third person to the match. Now, if Sheamus won last night, he would have had a gripe, hey, I should be in the main event now too. I beat the guy that's the challenger. So, but that gripe is now done. That's, Sheamus lost to Lashley on Raw. Now he just lost to McIntyre. Sheamus is completely out of the picture. It is now one-on-one, 100% going forward with Lashley and McIntyre.
Any thoughts for Sheamus at WrestleMania?
None. I have no idea what to do with Sheamus now. I honestly don't. Maybe unless he goes for Riddle. But I kind of have Riddle with Keith Lee. I don't know what I'm assuming they're holding Keith Lee off for whatever reason for now, because he was supposed to be in that triple threat match at the Chamber where Riddle won the U.S. title, MVP's U.S. title. So I figured that's an set that they're friends. They both want the title. I think that would be a great U.S. title match at WrestleMania. But if Keith Lee is still not available for whatever reason, I don't know why he's off TV as it is now. But if Sheamus has nothing to do, one idea pitch from Riddle and a pissed off Sheamus right now, Riddle's going to get a boot to the face real quick, and then that's going to be off and running.
Yeah. As far as Keith Lee goes, there's news sites are reporting that WWE doesn't have anything for him or any intentions of bringing him back anytime soon. But that could be a whatever. And
well, that's how rumors get started.
Yeah, exactly. So, I can't think of anything else for Sheamus too either. I think that a U.S. title match would probably be good for both Riddle and Sheamus. So
yeah, that'd be fun. Yeah.
Alexa Bliss, she gets a win over Randy Orton, 4 minutes 40 seconds. Now, I'm hanging on to the memory of the fact that Alexa Bliss, she has a legitimate championship gripe for Asuka as well. She beat Asuka not too long ago. Now she has a win over Randy Orton. I think she should be in that title picture at WrestleMania.
Potentially, I think they're gonna maybe after Mania. That wouldn't be a bad idea. But yeah, shout out to Randy Orton. He can block fire. That was pretty impressive. When she shot him with the fire, and he put the arms up and blocked it. Good.
It's kind of impressive that when we were talking about the Marvel Cinematic Universe at the beginning of the show, we didn't think to bring up Alexa Bliss, who can summon fire and lighting rigs from the ceiling and all this stuff. And apparently, she is a good. What's the word for when you bring people back from the necromancy? I guess.
Yeah, right. She can. Yeah, exactly. She's a witch.
The Fiend rises. The Fiend rises up through the ring, grabs Randy Orton by the leg. He has a new outfit, and it's like completely melted all over him. So,
is it new, or that's just the one that caught fire? Right?
Fair enough. Yeah.
I don't think that's new. I don't think
he's wearing the same thing he was wearing.
Yeah, he was wearing the same thing he was wearing when Randy put him on fire. But yeah.
So the Fiend is back. So presumably we have Randy Orton versus the Fiend at WrestleMania in some sort of match.
Was it going to be a match? Do we do Firefly Funhouse again? Like, I don't know. I know we just did the WrestleMania. I know the 36th episode just aired. Randy's got just as long as the history as Cena does. So there's no reason why they can't do the same thing with Randy.
They could do a Firefly Funhouse with Alexa Bliss involved in that too. That'd be interesting. Yeah. Although this year there are fans there, so you don't want to do that. Yeah, okay, yeah.
I'll take that back. My bad.
Well, they could still do it. I mean, I think they'll still have the Undertaker involved at WrestleMania in some way, but it won't be a match. In my opinion, I think John Smith hasn't pegged for a match, but we'll see.
Well, like I said, that would be terrible because we've been pegging him to have that. That was always the question after last year's WrestleMania. Well, who's Undertaker going to fight next year? Oh, he's retiring. That's great. Good for him. But who's he going to fight next year at WrestleMania? We just weren't believing it, but it just seems like I kind of got off the train. We
want the Undertaker to be the person who introduces WrestleMania in the opening video.
Yeah.
Main event: Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan. Roman Reigns got the win. A lot of chicanery towards the end. Referee went down. Edge subbed in. Jey Uso came out. Daniel Bryan swung a chair to hit Roman. Roman moved, hit Edge. Edge beat them both up with chairs. Roman was tapping out to the yes lock.
Yep.
All this happens in there. After Edge hits them with chairs, Roman covers. Daniel, a new referee, comes out, counts the 3. So it appears, as of right now, Roman Reigns versus Edge at WrestleMania is confirmed. There's been no announcement from WWE otherwise, but everybody else, F4W Online, whatever, have confirmed that it is a triple threat. So,
yeah, Daniel's got the gripe. This was the same. Like I said, both matches had the same thing. I don't think Roman was losing this match. I don't think anybody really had Daniel Bryan winning it, but there was something was going to happen with Edge or Jey Uso or possibly Heyman threw out Jimmy the other day on the Saturday morning, the Talking Smack thing. He said there was more than one Uso, so he kind of hinted that maybe Jimmy might be around now too. But the way this people wanted, Daniel Bryan was going to have a gripe at the end of this match to weasel his way, and I don't use that weaseling into with Daniel Bryan. He's got a gripe to get into that main event now. Edge hit him with a chair. Edge thought Edge's job. Edge didn't control his temper, and then he had Roman tapping, so he's gonna Roman's gonna be too proud to let that pass. Daniel Bryan's gonna shove that right in his face on SmackDown. So it'll be interesting to see. And I kind of agree with it.
Yeah, and I will say I don't think Roman's leaving WrestleMania as champion now.
Yeah, now this makes Roman human now, so it'll be interesting to see where they go with this.
Yep. All right, that's Faslane. We're not done with WWE. We got some news items later that we want to talk about, but I do want to talk about the other pay-per-view that happened yesterday. We had 2 pay-per-views yesterday, and actually both of them were about 2 hours, right? Fastlane was only 2 hours, I think, right? Went from
Was it? Yeah, no, maybe a little past that, 2.5. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, sure. NWA back for the attack. National Wrestling Alliance returns after very, very long absence, almost a year at this point. I think I had some stuff from May of last year. They had Power in the can, but this is the first that they've been back in truth, right? Like they've had, Nick Aldis wrestled on Primetime Live, and they've had Thunder Rosa and Serena Deeb on AEW and things like that. But this is the first time that they are producing a show. So they're back yesterday, had their pay-per-view. They'll have Power starting up on Tuesday this week at 6:05. So you can go to Fight TV, $4.99 a month, and you can get all the NWA stuff. Except for yesterday, that's $20. So yesterday we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 match card. Couple of big things on the card. I went through everything, but there's a couple of things that bear discussion.
Yeah.
So first and foremost, the whole show was dedicated to the memory of Joseph Hudson, also known as Josephus, also known as the Question Mark, who died of kind of a mysterious illness last month or earlier this month. And so that thread was carried throughout the entire show. They opened with Aaron Stevens talking about him. They closed with sort of everybody in the ring in sort of paying tribute to him with holding up the question mark signs and stuff like that. So, very sad that he died, right? And he's not somebody that you really think of as having a huge impact in wrestling, but it was clear to me on that show that people really cared for him and are really, it's really sad that he's no longer with them.
Yeah, maybe publicly he wasn't, but is that the boy when you're in the locker room? Obviously I've never been in a pro wrestling locker room, but I've been a part of many teams, both in the high school and the collegiate level, and it's. I played collegiate hockey from the first line guy down to the fourth line guy. You're family, and you guys love each other. So I completely can see how, if he was a good guy, that they would do everything for him that they did. So it's an unfortunate thing. It really sucks. Life sucks sometimes.
Yes, 100%. So going through some of the things, Sliced Bookie got a win over Jack Stain, Jordan Clearwater, and Crimson. It's a fun name, Sliced Bookie.
Exactly.
Seconds. Tyrus, Brodus Clay, he defeated JR Kratos in 7:25. Tyrus will be a heel in the NWA, so there's that.
Yeah, there's no Funkadactyls in the NWA.
No Funkadactyls, yep. Tom Latimer, he defeated the Pope. Tom Latimer wrestled the Pope Elijah Burke to a time limit draw for the NWA Television Championship. They bumped up the time limit from 6:05 as the tradition to 10:05, but they still wrestled the entire time. So there we have it. Bram, Tom Latimer, does not have the television championship. Okay. Camille got a win over Thunder Rosa next, number 1 contenders match. So Camille has a future title shot against Serena Deeb. 14 minutes, really good match. What's up?
They didn't take the belt off her yet? Like, she's injured. Like, she just had surgery. She's done. Like, for a while. Wait, I would have just given Camille the championship right there. I know it was take the head of time.
Oh, I see. I'm like, I wasn't sure what you were saying there, but so Camille, maybe they will do that, but Camille has a title match, or she'll be granted the title at some point in the near future. Thunder Rosa, though, it bears mentioning she had a killer knockout match on Dynamite last week, and then another great match here. I give a lot of credit to Britt Baker for that match on Dynamite last week. She was a star in that match with the thumbtacks and the bleeding and all that stuff. Britt Baker looked really strong there. So did Thunder. And then she comes to NWA this weekend, and she has a great match with Camille. And Camille, we really haven't seen a ton of Camille wrestling. So when you have a long match, 14-minute match, and it's good, I still give a lot of credit to Thunder Rosa, even though Camille came out on top. That was a great match.
Yeah, I'm sure it was because I missed this card. But yeah, Camille, you're gonna see a lot of big things in the future with her. Once she gets out of NWA, I'm not saying the NWA is a bad place to be, but once you start seeing her on weekly television on a regular basis, whether it be any of the companies, she's going to dominate. She's good. Like she's she's good. She's a strong girl.
Yes, very formidable presence.
Yeah.
Trevor Murdoch, he got a win over Chris Adonis. Chris Adonis is Chris Masters. Trevor Murdoch is Trevor Murdoch. The NWA National Championship, 8 minutes, 40 seconds. Adonis attacked Murdoch after the match, so that feud will continue. Trevor Murdoch, the story here is he out-wrestled Chris Adonis, which was kind of funny. I think, he won with a cradle or something like that. So,
yeah, I guess, yeah. He was a farm guy, right? He was almost like he was a Godwin, but he wasn't a Godwin, and he wrestled pigs and bulls and stuff. So yeah, I'm sure he can out wrestle guys. He knows how to wrestle.
He's still from Waxahachie, Texas, or whatever, but they refer back to a lot more his relationship and training with Harley Race to kind of give him that sort of credibility.
He reminds me a lot. He reminds me a little bit of Harley. I can see that.
You can see that once you wrap your mind into that. So main event: Nick Aldis versus Aaron Stevens. 21 minutes. This match went is for the NWA World Heavyweight Wrestling Championship. Aaron Stevens, he's not somebody that people tend to take seriously, but this whole thing with the question mark, they were tag partners and whatever, and so they did a lot to establish Aaron Stevens as a credible wrestler going into this match, including Nick Aldis talking about Stevens' credentials. Stevens himself brought up the fact that he's been wrestling, was trained when he was 16 years old by Killer Kowalski. He's wrestled all over the world. Really talked about his, credentials and stuff coming into the match. And they did have a good wrestling match. In the end, Nick Aldis won. It was Stevens went for an inside cradle. Nick reversed it, got the 3 count. The show goes off the air with them paying tribute to Joseph Hudson. So that's what this was. It was, they tribute to the question mark.
Yeah, it sounds like great. I remember I caught the way back when we were trying to figure out what else we could cover on the Essential Wrestling podcast. I turned on Impact for the first time, and I'm like, let's check out the NWA. Let's see what that is. And I ended up catching the last episode before the Crockett Cup, which was the last episode that he had live. So I was like, okay, that ended quick. But yeah, it's a fun little bit. I don't know if they still have the same set or the same setup or whatever, or the no music today. It's a very Saturday morning like atmosphere, and I absolutely love that about the NWA.
Yeah, exactly. This whole show was in Atlanta, in Georgia, at their studio. They did it all there, and so it's the same that you would have seen on Power, back last year. So all good stuff. They're back. They're doing their thing. They're off and running. They had fans there. I don't know if the fans were just relatives or what they were doing, because I never saw them selling tickets or anything. But they did have fans there. You could hear the booing and the cheering and stuff. So
cool.
They're back. They're back and starting on Tuesday. So there you go. Coming up tonight, we have Monday Night Raw. We have the fallout from Faslane. And we have the debut of Rhea Ripley.
Yeah.
Al, do you think Rhea Ripley goes straight into the title picture?
You think that is the obvious one. So I am going to go out on a limb here. Like, let's give her own shine spotlight match. So, is she ready yet? Like, can Becky just hightail right behind her and be like, listen, and you, Manny, let's do this.
I have this thought that Rhea might pull Charlotte out of the main event picture, and they might go Rhea Charlotte too.
Okay.
And then you also have Charlotte Asuka too that we're looking at, and then like what you just said. When's Becky coming?
Yeah, I think it's tonight. I think it's now or never. It's either tonight or it's going to be after Mania. And I figured it would have been the other way. Like I would have announced Becky Lynch. I would make the announcement that she's coming back. So I don't know. I feel like I'm going out on a limb because of that. Because I think it would be the other way around. Becky's coming back, and then either Rhea go after her, or like I said, once Becky comes back, Ronda's not going to be too far behind. So. at least in my opinion, because Ronda's still not, she's still got she owes Becky one. So
yeah.
That's out on a limb. It could just be that it's a triple threat now. Unless it's Shayna and Nia, if they want to have a tag championship match, they still have the belt, so you can put them against Natty and Tamina or whoever, and then you can do a triple threat. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'd rather see Charlotte and Asuka one-on-one. I want that, and I need Asuka to get that receipt from 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Well, you know what we don't have yet with a 2-night show. You typically think that there's going to be one match on the first night that leads into a match on the second night, and we don't have that yet. So maybe there's all these situations where maybe there's a Charlotte Rhea match on night one that leads to the winner facing the winner of a Asuka Becky match on night one. On night two, maybe we have something like that. Typically when you have 2-night shows, you usually get something like that. We don't have that yet, so
yeah, they didn't do that last year at 36, which is fine. But yeah, it's been done. That's how Daniel Bryan got into the title picture at 30, right? He had to win a qualifying match.
Yeah, and 36, I always, it's such a weird thing because, 36 they had a full card really before they knew what was going on. So, but it's certainly all the programming and such. So. We'll see what happens, but all those names I think are in the Raw Women's Championship title picture is really strong right now.
Yeah, definitely it is, and even Peyton Royce throwing her 2 cents in on Raw Talk a couple of weeks ago. Peyton's not happy with where she was. She flat out said it. I want Asuka. So we'll see what happens.
Yep. Raw also leading into Raw tonight is AEW Dark Elevation. That starts at 7:00. Last week had over 900,000 viewers. And the interesting thing is it ran into the Monday Night Raw time slot. And when it did that, it didn't lose a lot of viewers, which is very, very interesting. So we'll see if that trend continues, if people were just checking out for curiosity's sake, which is always the case. The first week is always a big bump. But we'll see what happens tonight. Tonight they have announced a whole bunch of matches, including what they called was like a triple main event with Ethan Page versus Alan Angels, Layla Hirsch versus Ryo Mizunami, Orange Cassidy versus Ryan Nemeth, and a profile on Red Velvet. That's kind of like their headlining with that. They have a whole bunch of other matches, including Fuego del Sol and Jake St. Patrick, who we interviewed on this show a few weeks ago, facing off against the Varsity Blondes. Tay Conti with -1 is going to be facing Ray Lynn. Danny Limelight versus Baron Black. Max Caster versus Ryzen. Ricky Starks and Will Hobbs versus Jarrell Nelson and Royce Isaacs. Royce Isaacs is interesting to me because we were talking about NWA just a few minutes ago, and Royce Isaacs was the third wheel in that. Nick Aldis, Tom Latimer, So Elevation, I'll probably be checking it out tonight. Hopefully they can wrap it up before Raw starts.
Yeah, it doesn't shock me that they didn't lose any viewers if they leaked into Raw. Like the AEW fan, they're not going to turn off AEW. It doesn't matter what show it is. They're not going to turn off AEW to put on Raw. So it's not like.
But the other interesting thing is I don't think Raw wasn't down last week.
No, probably not.
So it's kind of nice if more people are watching wrestling. I'm all in for that.
Yeah, that's it. That's all you can ask for. That's they're going to get their $2 million, whether they hover 2.5 or 1 point, whatever. That's going to be around there. So.
Yeah. All right, a couple of news items. I'm going to play our news bumper. The news is brought to you by the Body Slam Brigade newsletter. It comes out every Friday. I compile the week's top wrestling stories, put them all in one quick-to-read email, divided up by company. We are 5 people away from 4,000 subscribers, so sign up now. Okay, top story, Al.
Yes.
Andrade and Almas, El Idolo, La Sombra, Andrade, whatever you want to call him. WWE has wished him all the best in his future endeavors. And they've come to terms on the release of Andrade.
Yeah. How? I don't know. I don't get it. Fine.
It's sad that they couldn't figure out a way to make him work into the mold.
How? I don't get how do you struggle finding a spot for this guy? It blows my mind. It honestly does. I don't get it. But their loss is going to be AEW's gain or Impact's gain. You put them in Impact. I think AEW needs to put a freeze on their roster. It just stop. You're good. You're good. Stop bringing in people. Let him go to Impact.
Wherever he goes, I hope Selena Vega's with him. That's one thing. This is and like you mentioned, Impact. Selena Vega has a history there.
Yes.
Andrade would be great in New Japan too. And frankly, he'd be great going right back to Mexico. So.
He'd be great because he is great. That's the thing. I don't get it. Why didn't you just give him back to Hunter then? Let him fight on Wednesdays. What are you doing here?
Yeah. So I don't know. So he did publicly. I don't know if he publicly asked for his release, but he publicly announced that he asked for his release.
Yeah.
And they granted it to him. So in a lot of ways, many times they don't do that. They make you run your contract out, but the fact that they did let him out of his contract, good on them. If he's not happy or if they can't make him happy or they can't work together, they come to terms on a release. I think that's great. 90-day no compete, though, I'm sure is in effect. So we won't see him.
For months. So what does that bring us? Mid-May? 90 days? No, June, right? 90 days?
June. Yep. Yeah.
And it just goes to show you that here we go. Like you said, that's Charlotte Flair's fiance. So it just goes to show you that all this stuff that he's only winning because of Charlotte, or even like the John Cena, Nikki Bella stuff. I can't. Nikki Bella's only Divas champion because John Cena is Vince. No, I don't think that's the case right now. This just proves it that even though you're with the top star, if you're not.
John Cena might have been champion because he was with Nikki Bella.
It could have been the only reason why John Cena was as big a star as he was because he was, Nikki Bella. Exactly.
No, absolutely true. And I know Charlotte even pitched some ideas about, Andrade doing some stuff with her, and that didn't work out. So whatever the case is, they didn't have a spot for him, and so they let him go. And
blows my mind.
Yep. But like you said, any place he goes, we're going to be happy to see him. So
yeah, and he's going to shine, which is fun because all the other companies will give him the time, So it's
So across the pond in Japan, Will Ospreay has won the New Japan Cup in spectacular fashion against Shingo Takagi in the finals. Travis and I, I'm sure we'll get into this in great detail tomorrow. It was a great tournament final. It was the first show I watched yesterday at 4 a.m. This match concluded. So he's going to face Kota Ibushi for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship on April 4th in Ryogoku. So there you go. My wife, she had the best bracket. We all filled them out. She crushed it. The rest of us, I did okay, but
I didn't do well in my NCAA tournament either. I had Illinois winning the whole thing, and they lost yesterday. They pulled the Okada and lost in the second round or whatever it was.
Naito and Okada losing in the first round.
Yeah, they lost in the first.
If Okada had advanced, man, it would have been a different. Everybody's brackets would have been different. So I'll bring all that up, points and everything tomorrow.
Yeah.
Also on that same show, Will Ospreay won the New Japan Cup. He also said to Kota Ibushi at the end, I want that, or I love wrestling so much. I want that championship. I love it more than anything or anyone. And he gave an Oscar to B. Priestley to close the show. So who knows what will happen there. If you go to B. Priestley's Instagram, you can see a video of her unfollowing Will and following Kota Ibushi. So we'll see what happens in the future there. Yo also returned. He announced that he'll be returning to action on April 4th with Sho. So Sho and Yo are going to challenge for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championships, which they never lost, against Yoshinobu Kanemaru and El Desperado. So
that's going to be a fun Easter Sunday morning for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully the Easter Bunny brings me something.
Yeah.
Brings me new champions on that.
Exactly.
Ring of Honor is having their pay-per-view, their next pay-per-view this Friday. It's their 19th anniversary show. They have a full card already announced. Dalton Castle will be facing Josh Woods. Mark Briscoe will be facing Flip Gordon. Dak Draper will be facing Jonathan Gresham for the Pure Championship. Matt Taven versus Vincent in an unsanctioned match. Mexa Squad will face Shane Taylor Promotions for the 6-man tag championships. Tracy Williams versus Dragon Lee for the television championships. Jay Briscoe versus EC3 in a grudge match. And Jay Lethal challenges Roosh for the ROH World Championship. That's this Friday, 8 o'clock.
There you go. Jersey Jay is going to bring it home. I'm looking forward to this. Jersey Jay. There you go. He's our top guy. Like he's our guy.
In the when you talk about Ring of Honor and their 19th anniversary show, I said this before, but he's the guy that if you're going to talk about an anniversary show, he's the guy to put in there because he's sort of their franchise guy.
Yeah, he is Mr. Ring of Honor. He's probably the longest tenured in history. I mean, I know a lot of guys have been Ring of Honor throughout the years, for the 19 years. But out of 19 years, he's probably been with them 10, like the last 10.
The Briscoes probably have him in terms of tenure.
Oh yeah, the Briscoes too. Yeah,
he's been there most of the time. So
yep.
Al, it is time for trivia.
Do I get to play today, or okay? Good. I get to play today. All right, good.
Yeah, going a little long, but we're good. And last week's WrestleMania episodes counted towards the monthly total.
Yeah,
so
I didn't do too well.
Where we stand, you are 7 for 10.
Yep.
So you don't have a chance of catching John Smith today, but you're in pretty good position by the time you get done with your 15th question here. So let me play the bumper. Where is it? There it is. All right. You get 5 questions. Simple majority correct gets you the W. If you win, you get the Goldberg Oscar Award. If you lose, you get a Hawkins. And your topic today is WrestleMania 10.
Okay. I would have bet money on 11. I was talking to John Smith about it last time. Like I'm going to be getting trivia tomorrow. What did you do already? I'm probably going to get 11 or 10. I was like, probably 11 because that's a little more not watchable.
Okay, well, WrestleMania 10 is one of my favorites, and
yeah,
unfortunately, we didn't do an episode on that one, but
we will.
We will eventually. So
we got time.
Owen Hart famously defeated Bret Hart in the opening contest of WrestleMania 10.
Yes.
How did he do it? A.
How?
Yes, how.
Okay.
A is a victory roll, B is a sharpshooter, C is the rocket splash, and D is a disqualification.
Yeah, he was on Bret's shoulders, and it was the victory roll into the pin.
Victory roll, 1 for 1. Okay. Your next question. The Quebecers defended the tag team championships against Men on a Mission.
Yes.
The Quebecers lost by countout.
Yes.
Who managed each team?
Johnny Polo and who managed Men on a Mission? Oh,
Johnny Polo is correct. You got that? Johnny Polo's correct. So you got that.
What about Johnny Polo? I don't know. Like, there's no multiple choice either, right?
Nope.
All right. Yeah, you got me on this. I don't know who did Men on a Mission.
Okay, what's it? So you don't get it, but I'll give you multiple choice. Was it Bert, Ernie, Big Bird, or Oscar? It's Oscar.
Yeah, I would have never gotten that. Oscar, that's right. I never would have got that. All right, you got me. There you go.
Okay. 1 for 2. Who did Earthquake defeat at WrestleMania 10?
Adam Bomb.
Okay. Adam Bomb is correct. B, Adam Bomb.
Yeah.
It was not Diesel, Tatanka, or King Kong Bundy. Those were
no.
Yokozuna defeated Lex Luger by disqualification and then lost the WWF Championship to Bret Hart later in the night. Both matches had special guest referees.
Yes.
Who were they? You have A, Mr. Perfect and Pat Patterson. B, Pat Patterson and Rowdy Roddy Piper. C, Mr. Perfect and Rowdy Roddy Piper. Or D, Mr. Perfect and Jesse Ventura.
Okay, so Piper did the main event. If he was alive, I would give him a hug. But thank you, Mr. Perfect, for screwing Lex Luger out of the WWF Championship on this card. Luger's named, oh my God, that was so perfectly done. Absolutely amazing. Loved every second of it. It was a lot of I guess the plot line, whatever you want to do. That Perfect was still upset that he lost at WrestleMania 9 to him. But yeah, Perfect screwed Luger hard, and that was, oh my God, that was perfect.
Correct. So Perfect and Roddy Piper. So you are, let's see, 3 for 4 going into the last and final question about the match that everyone most remembers from WrestleMania 10. Of course, I'm talking about the WWF Women's Championship match.
Oh, wow.
Not the famous ladder match.
I thought you were going to do Last Man Standing. Okay.
or the Falls Count Anywhere match.
Well, yeah, that's what I meant. Falls Count Anywhere, Savage and Crush. Okay, go for it. Women's Championship.
Leilani Kai challenges this WWF Women's Champion. Kai did not win. Who did she challenge?
Alundra Blaze.
Alundra Blaze. Very good. Yes. WrestleMania 10 is a great WrestleMania. Probably, I don't know, I haven't really read up on the critics to see what they say about it, but I don't care. I loved it.
Yes. Yeah, you're going to see, WrestleMania 10 you might see tomorrow night on the Essential Wrestling Podcast.
All right. Perfect. All right. Well, that said, let's talk about the Dropkick t-shirt. It is $20 from Minutes to Bell Time, and you can get it at Body Slam Clothes. That's a good short link for you to get there. $20 supports an independent artist, supports me. All sizes are the same price. No upcharge if you wear a 2X or a 3X. And you can get it in a bunch of different colors, and it's $20. That includes the shipping and the soft style shirt. So absolutely no upcharges. So go buy it. It's a great shirt. And then the Primetime Rundown. Joey Jarzanka, Ian Schreier, and Rob DeLuca on Friday nights for the Primetime Rundown. We take you through the world of sports. The show kicks off at 6 p.m. on the Eastern Observer. And then also, Al Karl, you're here, the host of the Essential Wrestling Podcast. Each Tuesday at 6 p.m., Al brings us through with, I'm there, John Smith's there, John DeConnie's there, and Gary Mahaffey's there. We return this Tuesday, tomorrow, 6 p.m. for another week of updates and highlights in the world of wrestling. Al, anything special you want to say about the Essential Wrestling Podcast this week?
I do believe our beloved Sheriff will be making an appearance tomorrow night as well. I think we get Tyler back for a week. So it's going to be going over Faslane, all the matches coming up for all the companies. Definitely going to talk about Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa. It was just a lot of fun. And actually, the WrestleMania 10 will be not this Thursday, but not this Tuesday, but the next Tuesday will be
very high up on your list. All right. Well, that's been our show. Al, thank you for making a return.
Yeah, happy to be back. Glad to be back.
Absolutely. It's fun to be on the air.
Yeah, exactly. You miss it when you don't get it after all the time, you know?
Right. So now the fans, all the fans can calm down. They've seen Al again. He's not.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I'm second behind Shirtless Gary. The people want Shirtless Gary.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Come back tomorrow for Tuesday. Travis will be here. We'll talk about the New Japan Cup and, whatever else we need to get into based on the news. So, see ya.